Show.
Hello and welcome. Glad you could join us here on 2K Sports. I'm your host, Ernie Johnson. Next to me, Kenny the Jet Smith. The fans are filling the seats in San.
We've got basketball action at the AT&T Center. We're in San Antonio, Texas, the home of the Spurs. Live and with pregame routines coming to an end. Hey, Kev. Thanks, David. Right on the money. Philly's passion for sports is something that makes them so unique. And for the Sixers, a lot of missed rookie seasons over the years. First Nerlens Noel, then Joel Embiid, now Ben Simmons.
Yeah, but in many cases, I think they drafted them knowing they might be out of commission for a while. Still, I think the Philly fans probably hope not to hear the phrase foot fracture for a long time. Hopefully, they can keep everybody healthy and get this thing moving forward.
Look at the 76ers starting group. Redick and Simmons are the 2 and the 3. Joel Embiid out there with Holmes, and it's Fultz in at the point. Parker kicks to Ginobili. He dishes it to Gasol. Pass to Aldridge. Out to Parker. Back to Aldridge. Spurs passing it around. Clock at 6. The shot's good from Gasol.
May have been a foul. Anyway, Gasol absorbs the hit, was strong enough to finish through it.
Fultz, the pass to Holmes. The dish to Fultz. Knocks it loose. Aldridge with it. A 14-point game for him in the win against Memphis. And Embiid pulls it down. Parker's shot is off. Well, it was the 76ers, their last game, a loss to the Bulls.
Yeah, guys, they were forcing it a bit in that one and shot a relatively low percentage because of it.
But you have to give them credit for being aggressive. The problem is they played too much hero ball. You have to be willing to make the extra pass.
Really crisp, intelligent passing to make that basket possible.
And the call will be against Tony Parker. That is his first foul of the game. And we're about a minute and a half into the first quarter. And here's Fultz. He's been producing a fair amount of offense night in and night out as he's averaging 14 points a game. And there's the call on Ginobili. That is his first foul of the game. Simmons with it. Leonard picks him up. Fultz kicks to Redick. No good on the 3. Spurs have gone 2 for 4 from the field so far today.
J.J. Redick, one of the best deep shooters in the NBA. He doesn't create his own shot for the most part, but he can hit a 3 from all spots and depths. He opens up so many options and space when he's on the floor.
Embiid with a screen on Parker. That's tipped. Pass to Ginobili. That drops, and it comes off an assist from Parker. Ginobili's got his first bucket in this one.
They've wasted no time settling into their offense.
And Steve Redick in his shooting, with the way that it is and an all-time demand in the NBA right now, you knew his free agency would be very interesting.
Yeah, it was, and you have to respect the decision that he ultimately made. He fits in well with the roster, and his three-point shooting is always useful, not to mention he's got a nice contract.
Feeds it to Embiid over Gasol. Here's Simmons, and he battles for the ball and gets the second chance bucket.
Oh, what an incredible effort from Simmons, using his length so well when he's hitting the ball.
And plenty of contact on the shot, so 2 free throws coming up. And while the low post game has lost favor, the high post is still prime turf for a lot of big men. They love to hang out there and do their job. Who do you think are some of the guys who live on the elbows like that succeed?
Well, LaMarcus Aldridge, I think, is one of the best in the business. Blake Griffin is a guy who plays well at that position. They're comfortable. Marc Gasol, Greg Monroe, Anthony Davis, and Karl Anthony Towns. Those guys play all over the floor, but they're very comfortable catching at the elbow. And you know what? As a big guy at that elbow, if you can show shot, one dribble, you're right at the rim.
The ball movement on this run has been fantastic and is a big part of why they've been able to get these good looks.
The feed to Sharch. Gets to the rim for two with the D all over him. Spurs leading by 6. Here's Laverne, and Laverne throws it down.
Perfect vision. Mills getting quicker these days at spotting the open man.
The 76ers have gone 50% from the field, hitting 3 of 6 since the opening tip. Screen by Sharch. Now, here's McConnell, covered by Mills. And Patrick Mills gets that whistle that time. That's his first foul. Kyle Anderson, he's checked in for LaMarcus Aldridge. Now here's Bayless, guarded closely. They double him with Green. 5 on the clock. Here's McConnell. And that one hits back iron. Here's San Antonio. They're on a 14-6 run. Here's Mills. And he can't extend the lead to double digits.
You know what? His finishing ability, not really at the level that you would expect from a pro, but he's going to have to start playing with more force.
The 76ers shooting their first shots of the night from the charity stripe. And the first one drops.
You know, Kevin, it's easy to forget, but Greg Popovich was almost fired by the Spurs back in '99. Rough start that year, under 500. The players caught wind that if they didn't win the next game in Houston, Pop would get the X.
And Anderson gets it to go.
That's their 3rd straight make off an assist.
The 76ers trail by 8. Kicks it to Bayless. Charge a screen on Green. Back to McConnell. 26 seconds left in the first. Bayless dishes to Sharch. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. It's his first trip to the line.
And when he's gotten himself to the line this season, he's come through right around 74% of the time.
The Spurs making a switch here. Murray's checked in. He hits the second from the line. Spurs leading by 7. Here's Laverne. Nails the baby hook.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
McConnell kicks to Anderson. Johnson with a screen on Anderson. Dishes it to Sharch. From the baseline. And so it's the San Antonio Spurs ahead by 9 as the quarter comes to a close. They've dictated the pace, pushed the ball at every chance, and it's paying off for them. And we've got more NBA action on 2K Sports coming your way at... Welcome back, everyone, to Lots. Here's Murray. They lead by their biggest margin of the game, 9. And so in the game for the 76ers, Anderson is out there with Dario Saric, and it's T.J. McConnell, and it's Jared Bayless, and it's Johnson in at the center position. Now the pass to Bayless. And Rudy Gay picks up the foul. That is his first foul of the game. Bertanis, he's checked in for San Antonio. There's Bayless with the 3. They get it back. Saric shakes off the strong D and gets to the bucket for 2. Saric has got 5 now.
Oh, easy putback. No one got a body on it.
And there's one thing you're trying to minimize. It's second chance opportunities. Poor defensive rebounding for them.
For the Spurs, such a remarkable run of success. In your mind, Smitty, what's been their secret?
Well, they develop extremely well, but once every decade or so, they draft a franchise player. In 1987, the Admiral. In 1997, the Big Fundamental. And in 2011, the Claw, Kawhi Leonard. And after that, as Pop would say it, don't mess it up.
The defense there got away with a major lapse.
It's Anderson with the drive. Good. Anderson's got 5 points in the quarter.
Again and again, they're dissecting the defense and creating those high percentage looks from inside.
Anderson outside. Johnson outside, and Laverne gets the whistle that time. That is his first foul of the game. Parker's checked in for Patty Mills. And the 76ers will go for a different look here. Embiid, he's checked in for Johnson. Ben Simmons comes in for Justin Anderson. J.J. Redick's checked in for Jared Bayless. And it's Fulton for T.J. McConnell. Looking at who's out there now for the Spurs. Pau Gasol's checked in for Laverne. And it's Leonard in for Anderson. Richaun Holmes, he's checked in for the 76ers.
And Fultz isn't bashful inside. He feels at ease shooting in the paint.
And here in the second with about a minute and a half gone by. And the call will be against Tony Parker. That'll be his second foul of the game.
And that's foul number 2. And maybe you don't sit him at this point, but you really have to be careful to not pick up another before half.
Now here's Fultz, covered by Parker.
The suffocating defense by Pau Gasol, using his length and agility to affect that shot.
That one's good. The San Antonio lead is cut down to 8 on the bucket from Holmes.
And this is the value of letting the play develop. You find the weakness in the defense.
And for Joel Embiid, some real tough times to start his NBA career. Greg sidelined, as we know, for the first 2 seasons with injuries. And just when he got going in season 3, he was dealt a knee injury.
Yeah, it has not been easy. And remember, Joel Embiid is so competitive. He came to the game late, but fell for it hard. And this is what he lives for, to be out on the court helping his team compete.
And the foul called on Kawhi Leonard. That is his first foul of the game.
And now only 1 away from being in the penalty.
And a little under 2.5 minutes gone by here in the second quarter.
Watch outside.
Now here's Fultz. Holmes, that's a screen. He feeds it to Simmons. Buries it down low. Simmons got his second basket of the game.
And Simmons is totally comfortable near the rim, using his body well to get the shot he wants.
That's the kind of D you need when he's got the ball near the hoop. They were all over it.
Fultz, the pass to Holmes. Here's Simmons. He's playing a pretty big role for him at the offensive end, averaging about 12.5 points a game. That freed up. Nice work off the pick. Now just a 3-point Spurs lead.
And not a lot you can do to prevent Simmons from creating space. It's what he does best in pick and roll call.
Guys, a potent offense right now.
You know what, guys? And they're playing with a certain amount of assuredness in their game. That type of confidence is what leads teams to having success.
Sneaking inside, converting the high percentage look. Something Parker does well.
Redick is in the corner. And it's off from 3-point range.
And really few teams in NBA history have undertaken the sort of extreme makeover the Sixers did over the last 4 years. And a lot of losing along the way, but the fans have been surprisingly supportive of the rebuilding process.
The combination of finesse and power, that's what gives Leonard such an edge in close.
Holmes, that's a screen. Fultz kicks to Holmes. Down low. And now it's Leonard running. Here we go. All the way. From the low block. And, yep, finally drops after rolling around the rim. And now it's a 9-point Spurs lead. And before the rebuild, the Sixers for a long time were stuck in mediocrity. Treading water, Greg, as they might say.
Yeah, and it's hard to make that leap without top draft picks. And the Sixers plumbed the depths, if you will. Now, though, I think they found their treasure trove.
The veteran eyes see all. Frenchie with the tremendous look to make that play happen.
1 second separating the shot clock and game clock. Fultz dishes to Simmons. Holmes, that's a screen. 6 to shoot. Embiid, the pass to Simmons. To end the run, uses the glass to finish the layup. Simmons got 6 here in this quarter.
And Simmons really using his insane athleticism on that drive. A remarkable penetrator who really carves up the defense.
And that concludes the first half. Spurs out in front. They're up by 9. And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge.
Thanks. Pal, what have your areas of emphasis been tonight in the first half?
I just had to be aggressive from the beginning, take the shots over there, move the ball.
Thank you, David, and we'll be right back after halftime to start the third quarter. See you in just a bit.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime
Hello again,
Show.
everybody. Ernie Johnson here, along with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny. It was all about San Antonio as the game got going. An exceptional game plan helped them open with a 12-4 run. And it was a 9-point lead for them as they finished the first quarter. In quarter number 2, they looked to surge ahead even. That'll do it for now. The second half of action.
We come back to San Antonio now with a look at the world How the NBA can be a superstitious place at times, Steve, with all the quirks and characters in the league. And you played, what was the strangest game day ritual that you ever saw?
I think Harold Miner. He touched everything with his nose, his gym shoes, his wristbands, the basketballs at the free throw line, and everybody did. And I think for me, as I got older, it wasn't strange. It was out of necessity. I had to get in some kind of steam room and have all those hot pads wrapped around me just to get loose to play.
I like that story. I don't like Baby Jordan's story, though. Harold Miner, that doesn't work for me. I don't understand that. Aldridge is at the 4 with Gasol at the 5. Manu is at the 2 with Leonard playing the 3. And it's Parker in at the point guard. That's the San Antonio 5.
Let Aldridge get to the rim. You know you're in trouble.
Embiid sets the pick for Fultz. They set the pick. Holmes, that's a screen. 6 to shoot. Embiid, no good. Spurs leading by 13. Leonard kicks to Aldridge. Comes up empty down low.
Just great at getting after it defensively, forcing guys into tough shots.
Yeah, to be successful, you've got to protect the paint. He rises to that challenge.
The Spurs making a switch here. Burns checked in. And about a minute of action so far in the third quarter. Embiid, no good.
Ooh, you know that's one he liked to have back. Point blank range, and he missed it.
And it's Leonard missing. The 76ers trail by 13. Stolen by Ginobili. And Parker gets it to go. The assist by Ginobili. Parker's got his second basket.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agenda.
Rudy Gay's checked in for San Antonio. Mills comes in for Tony Parker. Now the 76ers with it. Steve, what a treat to see Manu Ginobili in his 40s still doing what he does best.
You know, Pop says he never wants Manu to retire. Said he wants to use him like a bar of soap till there's nothing left. And as a former teammate of his, I don't want to see him go either.
Takes the 13-footer. No good from Simmons.
Just 1 for 4 since the break. They are looking for better efficiency on the offensive end.
Aldridge, no luck.
You know, a little off his game this quarter. Still trying to find a rhythm, though.
And Rudy Gay picks up the foul. That's foul number 2 for him. Into the third we go. 2 minutes in now. Wasted no time on that one. And it's 6 points for Markelle Fultz.
And guys, really admire how Simmons finds the open man consistently. The vision, the unselfishness. That's what you want to see out of him. I'm sorry, that's poor defense down low again. It's been a mismatch thus far in the paint.
Second half of play with just under 2.5 minutes gone. That's good. Basket number 5 on a 5 for 8 night shooting.
Just a positive force right now for these guys. And though his team has fallen a bit short, it's not because of him.
Nice shot by Ginobili.
Not a lot of resistance on the inside, and they're taking full advantage.
Fultz kicks to Simmons. And Rudy Gay picks up the foul. And that'll be his third foul so far. Well, Steve, it's something that everyone has a different opinion on. How do you feel about the current amount of years a player has to play in college before they enter the NBA draft?
Well, Kevin, I look at it this way. I like the notion that people have been throwing around that you're able to come out of high school and go to the NBA. But if you choose to go to college, you must play 2 years. So I'm leaning toward and researching and looking at that. I think I'm on board with that because there are some guys that have the opportunity straight out of high school, and there are some guys I think need college. So I think if they can balance that out, and I think that's the way I would be leaning.
I like that perspective. Here's what San Antonio's going with right now. Kyle Anderson comes in for Laverne, and it's Green in for Manu Ginobili.
Man, have they been effective at getting the ball inside.
Passes it to Bayless. Screen by Saric. Anderson kicks to Bayless. Pass to McConnell. That's good, and so Bayless with the assist.
High percentage play, working the ball in close, then the nice move to convert.
Moves back up. Here's Anderson. They kick it out to Green. Spurs passing it around. He dishes it to Gay. Here's Aldridge, and Aldridge slams it in.
I'll tell you what, LaMarcus is rolling. Hard man to stop once he gets going.
59 seconds left in the third. The dish to Bayless. He kicks it to Saric. It's stolen by Green. And a fast break now for the Spurs. And Aldridge slams it in.
I like the extra pass. We know Rudy's a shooter first, but he also understands what this offense requires.
Pass to Bayless. And the foul called on Danny Green. That is his first foul of the game. And some changes here for the Spurs. Pau Gasol is checked in for Aldridge. Leonard comes in for Rudy Gay. And Parker's subbed in for Patty Mills. And Philadelphia also making a switch. Ben Simmons, he's checked in for Justin Anderson. 2-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Anderson's shot is off.
Oh, I don't believe that. He's better than that. Come on.
Feeds to Bayless. Back to McConnell. To the inside, Simmons. And Simmons slams it in.
And really, Simmons makes it look so easy. The way he's attacking defenses from multiple angles is really just commendable.
LaMarcus Aldridge has been on display for San Antonio. He got into double digits for the quarter with 10 points total. We come back right after this. And we welcome you back as we get going here in the fourth. Now McConnell. Parker with the steal. On the court for Philadelphia to start the fourth. McConnell and Fultz, the playmaking pair in the backcourt. Dario Saric is out there with Ben Simmons. And it's Johnson in at center. Now here's Fultz. Defense is right there. And the foul called on Kawhi Leonard. That'll be his second foul of the game. Launches a three. That is good, and the Spurs lead is cut down to just 12 points with the basket from Fultz.
And Fultz pulling from deep is a thing of beauty, consistent in terms of burying those long ones from beyond.
Oh, inflicting some punishment with the two-hand flush.
They're going for the throat. Well, the NBA we know has incredible competition, and more times than not, it's more serious than anything else, and you're so locked in. But Steve, right, there are moments of levity that everybody can kind of laugh at, correct?
Yeah, it is. I mean, I think the one thing is having a teammate go to their free throw line, shooting an air ball, and him glancing over at the bench, and, you know, nobody wants to laugh at times, but depending on the game, you just bust out laughing, and then he goes up there and shoots it really hard to make sure he doesn't have an air ball. And then the one when you're passing the basketball and the teammate is not looking and you catch it right in the choppers. That's the one everybody laughs about the most.
How about you personally? Any moment that either you were laughing or people were laughing at something that happened to you on the floor?
You know, I had this one, we call it a flat tire, Kevin. I was led. Teammate Brevin Knight threw it out and I couldn't stop, and my legs wobbled. I fell, I caught it and went out of bounds. That's the one I think for me was the funniest. It just wasn't funny when it happened.
And defensively, neither side able to get many stops.
Well, this is when you need them, late in the game. It's not all about scoring.
Gasol passes to Bertans. Rebound by the 76ers. George has got his 5th rebound right now in the game. A shot by McConnell, no good.
And forcing the miss there, he just knows how to pressure you defensively.
And also protecting the rim at all costs. I love the anticipation to affect the shot.
To the wing right side. And there's the call on Ginobili. That'll be his 2nd foul of the game. Marcus Aldridge is checked in for San Antonio. Philadelphia also making some changes. Joel Embiid, he's checked in for Johnson. And J.J. Redick is subbed in for T.J. McConnell. Okay, well, let's go down to David Aldridge for a report from the sideline.
Hey, Kevin, during the last break, I heard Brett Brown talking with his team. He said, guys, we need to play with pace, and that'll get us some early fast break opportunities. We're playing way too predictable right now. Guys?
Thank you, David. He muscles it in through the contact, and they call the foul. He's on his way to the free throw line.
And it's all about the release when you shoot the flow.
Rudy Gay's checked in for Leonard. And Philadelphia also making a switch. Holmes checked in. Parker, right side. Gasol kicks to Ginobili. Gay dishes to Aldridge. And the dunk by Aldridge.
His teammates recognize that he has the hot hand going. That's why they get him the ball every chance they get.
The pass to Holmes. Lands soft on the front of the rim and drops.
And when they desperately needed to get things turned around, they were able to rally and get back into it.
This was all sparked by their defense. They got some stops, and they did it in a hurry.
Out of bounds, Philadelphia takes possession.
And right there, a little miscommunication on that pass.
The 76ers trail by 7. There's 1:54 left in the 4th quarter. And Embiid gets it to go.
Really taking advantage of every scoring opportunity. They've somehow found a way to make this thing exciting.
Ginobili kicks to Gasol. Kay passes to Parker. Holmes with the steal. Simmons dishes to Embiid, and he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. It's going to be on Rudy Gay.
And I like the fact that the defense is looking to protect the rim at all costs.
And the second free throw, no good. A tough break there.
Listen, they're still right in this thing. Missing that free throw, though, keeps this a 2-possession deficit. That's
a bad dude right there. Aldridge taking the hit, shakes it off for the score.
The 76ers trail by 6. Fultz kicks to Holmes. The feed to Redick. Embiid against Gasol. And Gasol sends it back. Holmes with the steal.
Can't waste a second now. And even then, there's still little chance.
They're teetering on the edge, just trying to hold on to any hope.
And you can just see by the way he fought for the putback that he's still got a lot of gas in the tank.
Flat out effort play right there. The kind that can be the difference between a win and a loss.
Here's Simmons. Redick passes to Fultz. And Gasol comes to help. Parker with the steal. The drive by Aldridge. Kicks to Ginobili. Back to Aldridge. And stolen by Redick. And now here comes Simmons leading the break. And he goes big with the dunk right over LaMarcus Aldridge.
Well, that is NBA level right there.
It's the way the game is supposed to be played. Guys competing at the highest level.
And that replay is sponsored by Under Armour. Another Unleash Chaos moment, giving us an excellent perspective on the play. Connects!
Huge shot. The calm, cool demeanor of Aldridge completely locked in there.
And the 76ers call time here. They're behind by 4. 17 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. What's your take, guys?
And this huddle up about two things, the quick shot and then the quick foul.
And you're right. And if they do get the bucket, you love to foul someone who isn't automatic from the line. That would take good denial of the ball on the inbounds.
17 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Redick inside the line, and it's off the back rim. No good.
I'm not sure of the thought process on that one. Really bad shot selection.
Well, you're playing for the team, not just yourself. They needed much better execution that trip down the floor.
And an intentional foul right there.
Yeah, you can't let them hold the ball and just milk those last seconds away.
First free throw is good, and that puts them up by 5. And he hits both free throws here. So now it's a 6-point ball game.
Well, this is how you close out. Beautiful job.
And a wide open look for Simmons. Off on that one. And so it's San Antonio with the win. It was a fantastic ball game, and they did a great job making sure it didn't get away from them late.
Yeah, I mean, they faced some challenges, but really held firm when they needed to. On both ends,
All right, David, great job. Thanks so much. Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. For Steve Smith, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan, thanking you for being with us. We'll see you next time. Have a great evening.
I know you ready.